Hey Pisces, this is Isel. I'm here to do your last portion of November. Sorry the last reading was super late, but this one's going to be right on time. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. Hopefully the energies have shifted a little bit. I've noticed that a lot of Pisces readings have been very consistent in like the theme of like basically, you know, moving on from things that are tumultuous and painful. I think the last title of the last video I did was "It Feels Like We've Been Here Before," and I'm hoping that we pick up some different energy. But in regard to that being consistent energy, I feel like that's more indicative of Pisceans as a collective moving away from things as a collective, the overall energy in regard to the collective of the Pisces sign, like shifting consciousness, moving away from things. It seems like that might be most prevalent for Pisces at this time. So let's just go ahead and see what we have in store. Show me energies present for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in regard to love and relationship reading. Energy, show me energies most present for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Love and relationships, November 2018. What are the energies most so present for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Okay. Pisces. Fuck, man. With the Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So, frustration, heartbreak, anger, hurt, pain, third-party relationships, situations that have basically dragged you through the mud, choosing not to communicate with somebody, choosing not to move in a direction towards somebody, choosing not to grant somebody access to you, not accepting an offer, not making an offer. Basically just being shut off because we're in a lot of pain. I hope that's not the case, Pisces, but let's keep going. Show me more for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. The Fool in reverse, not making any moves, not deciding to go on a particular path with somebody, feeling out of balance in regard to the path that you might be moving towards. If you do make a decision to begin something with somebody, and if you're still hurting in this situation, you may be very hasty in regard to that decision making, and you may, be putting yourself in jeopardy. You may be reckless in this situation if you get involved with somebody while feeling like this, or if you get involved again with the same person while feeling painful and hurt. It's reckless behavior. Be careful about that. You have the Five of Wands at the bottom of the deck in regard to the Fool in reverse. So this is conflict and decision-making in regard to the path that you may be wanting to go on, or the path that you may be going on. At this point, I would advise to not make any large decisions in regard to a person or a path with somebody if they've hurt you. I would hold off. Okay. Show me more for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, Pisces. Show me more for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, November 2018. Show me more for the sign of Pisces. Love and relationship reading. That's like 10 cards. I'm not taking that. Show me more for the sign of Pisces, love and relationship reading. So the High Priestess, Pisces. So very much your energy here. And we've got the Star at the bottom of the deck. So this is talking about using your intuition. It's talking about seeking guidance from those who are spiritually inclined, spiritually connected. If you're seeking a tarot reading from somebody, that may be on the table. If you're seeking counseling and guidance from somebody who is more so inclined in the spiritual realm. My ear is on fire right now, just the left one. Hope I'm not having a stroke. That's not something to joke about, and I'm sorry. I don't mean that as a joke, but like, it's just like right now, it's like inflamed on my left side. A message to be very, very conscious in regard to how you receive messages from the outer realms, Pisces. That exactly right there is an example. Like, I'm an empath, I'm an intuitive and an empath and channel, and like sometimes things just come in And they don't really, there's no rhyme or reason how. Sometimes I go deaf. Sometimes I hear like booming loud noises. Sometimes I guess my ear turns on fire. Sometimes I feel like I want to throw up. Sometimes I feel like I need to get on my knees and pray. Sometimes I feel like I'm being violated. Like there are 10 billion different ways that messages can come through, okay? So be very conscious of that. Also, be very conscious in regard to the path that you are choosing to move on to. It's like, you know, use your intuition in regard to that. If you don't feel like you're ready to move forward in anything, pay attention to that. Pay attention to your intuition in regard to what it is that you are experiencing right now, okay? Be conscious of the pain. Be conscious of the pain. That's what I'm picking up. You need to heal. You need to trust the guidance that you're receiving in this situation. You need to heal. Lessons are brought to us for our own benefit, okay? Pain is a lesson. Pain teaches us to turn inward within ourselves. Pain teaches us to harness our power and our energy so that we can transmute that pain and bring it to a different light, bring it to a different energy and understanding so that we can progress positively in the future for ourselves, for those that are around us and in our situations. This is also Virgo energy as well, Pisces Virgo energy, Aries energy. Just kind of letting you know as far as like signs go. Show me more for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So you have the King of Wands and the Empress in reverse here, Pisces, okay, with the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. So if this is a situation where you were in a committed relationship with somebody, again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, okay, this is Taurus energy. We have these in the reverse. So basically, the male aspect of this, the male could be very pig-headed, he could be very selfish, he could be very egoic, not really caring about anybody's feelings but his own, you know, like choosing to do things as he will. The Empress in reverse, that is the wife card, that is the mother card, that is also somebody who has pretty much let themselves go. They're not taking care of themselves. There's no self-care here. There's no nurturance. This person is almost like given up on themselves. It's like there's a slovenly energy to this. And I don't mean that to like put anybody down, you know, but like there's a level of pain that it causes us to not care about ourselves, you know. I can understand that type of pain, especially if you have been in a committed relationship with somebody. You know, this also may, in regard to this High Priestess, this also may be talking about seeking counselors. This also may be talking about going to marriage counseling in regard to something, in regard to the situation, you know, because I mean, pain can happen, and it doesn't necessarily have to just mean third-party pain, but pain can definitely happen in relationships, and it can tear them apart or it can cause them to grow stronger. It really depends on how strong you are as a unit and couple, and how strong you are as a person on your own, and how much you're willing to put into this. You know, some people, when they have conflict, that's it. They just throw in the towel. Fuck you. Get out of my life. Next. But they tend to also draw in people who are going to be, it's almost like they line up that type of situation again, you know, like you have to, I don't want to tell you have to learn from your lessons because that's just utterly cliche, but you have to learn from your lessons. And, you know, apply them, really learn from them, you know, like I told, I think it was Cancer, like don't play the victim, you know, like there are a lot of people in this world who play this card like, woe is me, poor me, I can't believe they treated me like this, I can't believe they disregarded me, I'm innocent, you know. It's like nobody's innocent ever. You know, yes, people do wrong other people, you know, yes, people are victims a lot of the time, but I'm talking more so about people who want to stay in that victim mentality. They want to hold on to the stance of I've been wronged and I'm innocent, and like, you know, oh, it's like they don't take any responsibility for themselves or their actions or their endeavors in regard to others. And it takes two. It always takes two, you know. So either way, though, we have a situation here where we've got two people who are not seeing eye to eye. It seems like there's fighting. It seems like there's a lot of disregard. And I'm going to clarify that in a minute. I want one more card for the King of Wands in reverse and the Empress in reverse, please. One more card. One more card for them. So many reverses. So the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles in reverse now. So if the situation, if there's a mother figure in this situation, she is out of sorts, most definitely. We have the Hermit here at the bottom of the deck. You could be dealing with Virgo. This is Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Again, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Taurus, Aries, Pisces, Virgo. Okay, so we have Virgo showing up here twice. All right. Hermit, bottom of the deck, Virgo. So we have got a Nine of Cups here in reverse, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So, you know, if we are fighting in regard to a partner, it's like there's a lot of disregard for self, first of all. There's a lot of one-upmanship, probably by the male aspect of this. It's almost as if the female aspect has withdrawn and has kind of stagnated in a level of neglect, self-neglect. Yeah, this feels like an energy where it's just like emotionally everything has been sapped and drained. There's not really, it just feels like emotionally the situation has become derailed. Okay. Yeah. Show me more for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, please. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. November, love and relationship reading. Show me more. Show me outcome here. Show me more present energies for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus now. So you have 4 cards popping out, Pisces. You have the Chariot, Strength, 8 of Swords, the Moon, the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So clarity, communication, good. Now in regard to this Chariot, Strength, the 8 of Swords, the Moon, it's almost as if the communication between the two of you is off in regard to how to believe the other person, how to connect properly with the other person. It almost as if, you know, it's like we're creating storylines in our head because we don't have the full story. We don't have the full truth here. You know, having a hard time believing our partner. That's another thing that's feeling present here. But, you know, it's like there's a movement out of this. And I'm going to clarify these cards as well, but there's a movement out of this situation. And it happens when we have patience, when we have the patience to hear each other out, when we have the patience to trust our thoughts and not create like storylines and just run with BS. You know, like everybody has the potential to do that. Like, you know, sometimes we create stories in our heads because we're painful, and it's almost as if like it's this toxic play on our emotions, and then we create these stories out of our emotional pain. Not all of those stories are true, okay? You need to be very, very clear in what you're creating in regard to storylines, in regard to problems in situations. Like, this seems very troubled, but it also seems as if like we don't know the full totality of the situation. It seems like both people are kind of like, and back and forth, and there may be also lies on both sides. So, you know, we need to be very clear in our truth. We need to be very clear in what we bring to this situation. So let's go ahead and clarify this reading, okay, Pisces? Show me the Three of Swords for Pisces. Why is the Three of Swords here as the first card in this reading? Why is the Three of Swords here as the first card in this reading? What is the nature of the Three of Swords here in this reading, please? Ten of Cups in reverse. That flew out just right there. And we have the Four of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. So this is basically a situation. This is family life. This is a emotional situation that was once really, really positive, emotional fulfillment. It's now not so. It's now in the reverse. It's not feeling good. We've got the Four of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. So this is not making an offer, not taking an offer, not really wanting to engage with somebody. It's a card of stagnation. You could be wallowing in this pain, wallowing in this hurt, Pisces. You know, be careful about that. That has to happen to a degree, but like don't live in that energy, okay? Show me the Fool in reverse for Pisces. The Hierophant here. So we had the Hierophant at the bottom of the deck for something over here. You know, we're not moving forward in this situation. It's like the footing is too painful in regard to this connection, this relationship. This is long-standing relationships here. You know, also too, in regard to counseling, if one is trying to drag the other to counseling and the other one doesn't want to go, like, you're really not going to get great results by forcing somebody to go to counseling or a mediator. Like, those types of things need to be a collective. They need to be by both partners. Both partners need to decide upon that type of stuff. If it's just one partner being like, oh, you need to do this, da-da-da-da-da, like, that's, the outcome is really not going to be very positive, honestly. If it's just you and you need counseling or guidance in regard to the direction that you want to go in, that might be something. But if you're trying to force your partner to go, it needs to be a mutual decision, okay? Show me the High Priestess for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for love and relationship reading for the month of November 2018. Show me this High Priestess, please, for Pisces. Show me High Priestess. Show me the High Priestess. Why is the High Priestess present here for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Now. Okay, so you have the Five of Wands, Pisces. Conflict, frustration. You've got the Chariot again, which is great. Moving away from that energy. You have the Ace of Cups here. And you have the King of Wands, okay? So, with the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so good. So this is making headway. This is communication. This is talking things out, you know? Trusting each other, learning how to retrust somebody. We have the Ace of Cups here. This is emotional outpouring. It can be an apology. It can be wanting to give forth loving energy to somebody who's hurt. We have the King of Wands here upright now. Look at this king. Here, he's in reverse. Here, he's upright, but I want you to look at his face. He's sad. He's sorrowful. He's sad here, okay? It's almost as if he's regretful. So if this king is coming to you and wanting to communicate his love, he's wanting to communicate an apology here, I would say listen. I would say listen with your intuition. You know, does it sound like BS? I don't know. I don't feel that it is, because it's like we have this Chariot here. Now the Chariot is talking about moving forward positively. We have it up here as well, and it's paired with strength. Okay, having strength and patience, fortitude to endure a situation, to pay attention to a situation. The Queen of Swords, listening logically, practically, you know, being analytical in regard to a situation. If somebody is trying to communicate their feelings to you, their regret, their sorrow, their emotional outpouring, and it's like we're having conflict in regard to our communication, we're back and forth biting at each other, you really need to make sure that you utilize your analytical aspect and thought process, the logical aspect, more than the emotional aspect. Be careful to not overly make your emotions the one that makes the decisions. It needs to be on a logical level. So just be careful about that, okay? Because a lot of the time, Pisces can become incredibly emotional, and they make decisions based upon their emotions, depending upon where their emotions are at. That's not always helpful, because it's not always helpful. Speak the truth. Speak your truth. Listen to the other person's truth. This is a sign to bring in clarity, okay? Show me the Empress in reverse. Why is the Empress in reverse here for Pisces? So you have two cards. You have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords here. Ace of Swords here. So somebody who has either been lying, somebody who's not coming full with the truth, somebody who has just been out of clarity, out of balance in regard to clarity. That energy is present. We also have the Six of Swords here in reverse. So having a hard time getting away from painful situations. And here at the bottom of the deck, we have the Empress upright. Okay, good. So, you know, listen to this situation. If you have basically been feeling like you can't communicate your feelings, if you feel like you can't, it's like you have to be in a situation, but the person isn't listening to you. They're not like hearing you. You know, be careful. I want to say too, be careful about what you bring. Like, I keep feeling like, don't perpetuate things out of pain. Don't perpetuate frustrating situations out of pain because you want revenge. There's something about revenge that keeps popping up, okay? Don't do that. Be very clear in your words. Be very truthful in your words. Do not bring things that cause more frustration. Don't egg somebody on because you're pissed. Show me the King of Wands in reverse. Show me the King of Wands in reverse for Pisces. So we have the Four of Cups here with the Nine of Wands, Pisces, all right? And we've got the Six of Pentacles here. So if this king was giving to somebody else, if this was a third-party situation, this person was caught, you know, you're more so defensive. This person also, you may have been cheating too. It doesn't really, I mean, work it either way. It really depends on the situation. I don't know your situation. This reading is for thousands of people, okay? We have somebody here who's basically exhausted in regard to their feeling of defensiveness in this situation. It could be the male, it could be the female. And it's also as if like they are having a hard time like with the communication again, with like the things that are being brought up, the things that are being said. It's almost as if like, do I trust this energy? Do I trust, like, how do I trust this person's words now? Mm-hmm. 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 Like that. Like that's what I'm feeling. Like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like I'm listening to you. I'm defensive though. Like I'm listening, like but you can't listen like that. Like, don't listen half-heartedly. Don't listen so defensively where you don't let the information absorb. You have to hear them. You have to be present if you want to change the energy with the situation. If you do not, then cut them out. Which might be what you're doing anyhow. We have this Four of Cups. Now, this could be the male wanting to cut the female out. It could be the female wanting to cut the male out. That could go either way, but that energy is present here, okay? And it's in regard to back and forth, who's been giving to somebody who doesn't necessarily... It's somebody who's given to somebody where it's like they should have been paying attention to with this other situation. Show me the Nine of Cups in reverse, please. Show me the Nine of Cups in reverse for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Thank you. So we have the Two of Wands here. It's in reverse for the Nine of Cups, okay? On the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Wands. So Two of Wands, Three of Wands. It's progression. We've decided what we're doing. We've decided which direction we're going in. I want to pull one more card in regard to that because that doesn't really tell me much in regard to the Nine of Cups. Like, this is emotional frustration. This is being out of whack. Like, what are we choosing? Are we choosing to move away from this? Because this card often talks about moving toward what we want, okay? So you may be moving away from the situation toward what you want. The Queen of Pentacles underneath here, she's in reverse over here. So you may be moving towards something that's more so abundant for you, more so stabilizing emotionally, financially, you know, all of those different aspects. That would sure make this Empress upright, taking care of herself, you know. At this point, though, it feels kind of like a standstill in regard to self, in regard to how we are experiencing life on the internal level, kind of a standstill energy. Show me one more for the Two of Wands in reverse. Why is the Two of Wands in reverse for the Nine of Cups, please, for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus? Why is the Two of Wands in reverse for the Nine of Cups? The Seven of Swords in reverse. So, good. We're choosing to walk away from situations that were lying, cheating, stealing, lying, deception. We're walking away from that. This may also be somebody apologizing, somebody wanting to communicate their side of things. I feel like the male is wanting to communicate that, but like it's almost as if we're just not wanting to engage in it anymore. You know, like, I understand that. I can respect that. You're on the fence about it. Like hearing it, you know, it's like, what do I do with that information? With the Hangman. Show me the Queen of Pentacles in reverse for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Show me the Queen of Pentacles in reverse for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, please. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles here, Pisces. Okay, with the World at the bottom of the deck. So, shutting things out, shutting things down, letting somebody go, putting somebody out in the cold. This is also financial lack. It almost feels like this Queen of Pentacles and the Empress is experiencing different levels of lack as far as like stability goes. This could talk about financial stability. It could talk about emotional stability, stability in their home, where they're going to live. Do I move? This is a card of movement. It's a card of travel. It's also a card of lessons learned. It's a card of finalities. It's a card of one chapter closes, so another one can proceed. We can proceed into another chapter. Okay? Show me the Chariot for Pisces, please. Show me the Chariot for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Show me the Chariot. Show me the Chariot, please, for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Thank you. So whatever you're moving towards, Pisces, this is a brand new beginning. It could be a new job. It could be a new career. Taking stock in regard to what it is that you want to do and shifting things up. If you work for yourself, that's a positive thing, and you may be needing to change some things around so that you can have a positive outcome in regard to that. You also have the King of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. Now, that could be moving towards a water sign male, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. It could also be that this is just you stabilizing your energy and not emotionally wallowing. You know, this King of Cups, he's somebody who, he feels his emotions, but he's a little bit more practical in regard to that. He doesn't like do gigantic emotional displays, especially when he's painful. He's somebody that's not going to wear his feelings on his sleeve. He's somebody that makes sure to take care of himself. He's not outward with his emotions. You may just be setting your eyes on practicality at this point, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But again, for some of you, you may be directly going towards something that's going to be positive with a sign that is more so for you. If this is for a female too, this is just coming in right now, like this, if this is for a female and this is the person that you were with, this situation that you were with that may have brought down this current situation, the one with the person that you were with before, God, I hope that's making sense. It's almost better for you. You know, it's like you got involved with a situation that would actually make you happier. And it might be a good idea to let go of this previous partner who you were in a relationship with to go with this new person. And that's for some of you. That's not for all of you. You have to decide how that works for you. Show me the Strength card for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Show me the Strength card, please. You have the Three of Cups here, Pisces, okay, with the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So in regard to the situation, this is like an evaluation of everything that you've put into this or somebody's evaluating what's been put into this. Is it worth salvaging? Is the Three of Cups, this third party situation, is, you know, is the overall energy of this previous relationship or current relationship worth salvaging over this endeavor that's happened? There's strength that's needing to be had here to deal with this situation. You also may be needing to communicate with family members, with friends, to get their advice, their opinions in regard to what to do next. You may be needing to line up a situation in regard to where to live, to stay, however that works for you. But yeah, be careful that you're not drinking and indulging in drugs or alcohol to a point where it's of detriment to you, okay? Show me the Eight of Swords. The Sun. So, you know what, Pisces? Get out of your mind. Get out of your mind, okay? You need to get out of your mind. You're going to have breakthroughs and clarity, but get out of your mind. You've got the King of Swords here in the bottom of the deck. So this is, again, utter clarity. Do not wallow in pity. Do not wallow in self-pity. Don't wallow in neglect in regard to yourself. Be very clear in regard to what it is that you want to do and the path that you want to make a move on. Show me the Moon for Pisces. So the Moon, we have the King of Cups, and we've got the Page of Cups in reverse. So this can be an apology. You know, again, there were two avenues for that to go down. This is, for some people, this person was the person that you cheated on with, and they may be actually a better situation to go on. You may be feeling out of sorts, though, in regard to how to make it happen. For some of you, again, this is in regard to you stabilizing your energy and, you know, getting back into balance with yourself emotionally. This is out of balance. It's somebody who is all over the place, and it's also somebody who feeds themselves. Like, they are more so apt to communicate BS, and like, it's almost as if they speak fluently in self-deception. Don't do that. This is also a card of deception and lies. Don't lie to yourself in regard to this situation or this other person. Don't lie to anybody in regard to the situation. The overall energy here is to speak clearly your truth and your energy. All right, Pisces, I'm going to shut it down. My name is Isel. I'm on here as the Altruistic Mystic. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.